You lived through a toxic relationship and you survived. It was hell on earth. You went through it and you're really, really happy to have gotten around to the other side. You're ready to date now and you've gotten into another relationship. Pause. Ask yourself, have you done any inner work? Have you looked at that relationship and tried to understand your involvement in it? Have you tried to understand how it is that you ended up in such a situation in the first place? Have you done any work with your inner child to try and free her from anything that might have attracted you into a toxic relationship? I'm not blaming you. It wasn't your fault. But how do you ensure that you do not end up in such a situation again in the future? How do you ensure that this relationship that you're stepping into is not just more of the same? You need to do work on yourself. You need to do the inner work. You need to do these gymnastics, these emotional gymnastics to go back into your past, understand what hurt it is, understand the potential pattern that has been created that you keep getting into. Again, it is not your fault, and the toxicity happens in different areas of life, but it is super important to dig deep, dig into yourself, and start the healing process of anything that might be causing the toxicity to show up in your life. And it's often very painful because it's often looking at situations where you were really hurt, especially as a child. So it's going back to your inner child and asking her where she is hurting, what it is that happened, witnessing these situations that happened that you had since forgotten or set aside as unimportant. She will be able to tell you what impact those situations had on her. And it could be that there's some trauma that you lived through, whether or not you're even aware of it. It could be something that you thought was essentially small, and yet it's something that is affecting you even today. Something that is showing up in your life because you have blinded yourself to it. And what your system is saying is, unless and until you address this thing, we're going to keep it coming back into your life. You're going to keep facing this situation until you face the initial situation that you went through. And facing it means sitting with that inner child, understanding from her perspective what happened, how she felt, how she showed up, and consoling her, freeing her from that situation and letting her know that she no longer needs to be there anymore because you're bigger now. You can protect her, and letting her know that you are there. I'm Shiron Dune. I'm a coach, and I'm ready to help you through this process. If you're interested, contact me at shirondune.com, and let's stop the pattern. Let's do life in a fresh new way.